There's a guy that I respect considerably named Erik Erikson. And Erik Erikson talked about what's called an identity crisis. Do we have Erikson? Do we have psychology in high school? Anybody? No psychology? Pardon me?
Depends how many people sign up for it.
Oh, all right. Well, they should do that someday. All right. Erik Erikson, he said, you know what? Every one of us at some point in our lives has what he called an identity crisis, whether we're aware of it or not. And when we have this identity crisis, we get to make a choice. And some of us choose not to choose, but that's our choice. And what Erikson said is, you know what? There's two directions that you could go in. One direction is understandable, but tremendously unfortunate. And that's to spend the rest of your life doing what you've been doing so far. And that's to measure yourself in terms of someone else's expectations of you. Right, on the other hand, what Erikson says is it doesn't have to end that way. That you could use your rapidly developing cognitive skills, your emotional skills, your intuitive skills to make conscious decisions about the kind of person that you would like to be, and then to behave in accordance with your own standards of what it means to be a valuable individual. In other words, what Erikson is saying is that there's two possible directions. One is to continue acquiring self-esteem by adhering to someone else's standards. The other is to, in the words of a guy that I'm really fond of, Henry Miller, the other is to make of yourself a work of art, to literally spend your life participating in the ultimate human prerogative, and that's to contribute to the nature of your own self-development. Right? And I like the way that Erikson frames that possible distinction. I also like when Erikson says, you know, in our culture, all of the action, psychodynamically speaking, is right around now. Who's heading to college either after this year or the next? The reason Erikson said this is such a volatile as well as promising time is that in America, when you leave, when you're about to go to college or when you do go to college, that's the first time you put enough distance, psychological and sometimes physical, between you and the others around you in order to differentiate between who you are and who someone else wants you to be. All right, now what Erikson did is to consider what happens to people depending upon the way that they resolve that identity crisis.